Grab the spotlight and the battery for the spotlight.
Oh, I have the pole right here.
All right, you grab the pole, Burke. You grab the spotlight. Somebody grab each.
There you go.
The pole. Key is on the ground. It's super long and blue. Step 2, come outside to the front corner of the cabin and remove the caps to both the white and the green PVC poofs.
This one first?
Yep, so green is water.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so the key is when you put this down, you're gonna be looking down on it, right? The key. Put it towards, not the very tip of it, towards the base of it, because a lot of pressure is on top of it. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
This will open the drain, so when we drain the cabin out. That turns the water off. Water is now off to the cabin. Now we're going to open the drain.
So you always do
The water and then the drain.
the water first in the green tube, and then you do the white tube to open the drain.
And on the, you do flip when you open it.
Which
You
way
do
is
the exact opposite when you open it. So now you're opening it. One quick note. Okay, when you put these on, just nice and light. Don't slam them down. Good to go. We're on. So, because if you slam them down in the winter time when we try to take these off, it's next to impossible. So just
All right, so step 3, after you've opened the water or closed the water and turned off and opened the drain, turned off the water and opened the drain, you come upstairs in the cabin and you open all the drains. So you open the sinks, you turn on the showers, you flush the toilets.
so go open those other ones.
Open those, Burke. All sides. Step 4, after you've opened all the drains upstairs, you begin to pour antifreeze down all the drains. Also to note with the antifreeze, it does not take a significant amount of antifreeze. You're just putting enough in to fill the P-trap underneath the thing.
Okay. So
Also fill the reservoirs of the toilet.
and then you got to plunge. Toilet.
Shower drain.
Okay, hold up. So we plunge and get as much water out of here as possible first. So we're going to plunge it a couple times. So it's less water, more antifreeze. You can do this with every toilet. Okay. I do a little more in the toilets than I do in the drains. And then plunge so some of this goes down as well. Okay, we're good. It's not going to freeze.
Just like that.
Every toilet.
Every toilet, every drain.
I do that, by the way. In case someone's turned this on, there's a hose bib up here. The water should be turned off to this at all times, but just in case, I do open it up and open that up in case someone. So those are open as well. There you go.
Next step in draining the cabin, we come in here and open these drains to start draining all the water. The water will begin to flow out the drain down there.
Make sure everything.
And then we go through the manifold and make sure that all of them are open.
That is not. This goes to the spa. I just do it for a second. I'll shut that one back. So this goes to the spa, which doesn't exist anymore. This that says do not open goes to a hose bib that is currently broken. I open it just for a second to make sure it was aired out. I'm shutting it. That's the only one I shut. And this is the only other one I'm going to shut. Everything else stays open all winter. Even these ones that have nothing attached to them. So open, 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 open. Okay, right here. Open. So you're draining the line that's going from the hot water heaters. Open, same thing. And you can leave the hot water heaters open. You don't have to shut those. They'll
He's
stay
pointing
open.
to the yellow.
Yeah, this
yellow
older one
ones.
is going to remain shut. there's no water has gone to it. It's really, doesn't matter. There should be no flow to it, so we just leave that shut.
Even though
But those all remain
those
open.
two far yellow ones can be open.
Yep, we got it. Okay, that's it for the manifold. I do that just to make sure there's nothing, you hear nothing coming through, and I'm going to show you.
The next steps is to make sure these are open and draining. So in all the basement bathrooms, there are drains that need to be collected. There should be small containers to catch the water.
Yeah. It's interesting that now, nowadays it's so easy to make videos that we can do stuff like this. Let's make a video of it.
Open. Flush the toilet, hold it down, make sure it's empty. Underneath the sink, there are more drains, one on each side. Can just go down the drain. Also fill with the downstairs. We open the drains on the sink, and similarly with the washer and dryers, the drains need to be antifreezed.
This one's a little more fun.
This over here.
Yeah, it's actually might probably easier to do this one.
Open them up and get the water out.
Probably should have done that before I got the electricity.
And that's the drain.
Now you get to just mess with this for a while. And water will, you just kind of angle it different ways, and water will just kind of leak out of there. You just have to do it for a couple minutes. See how it's kind of coming on the angles you put it on. See that? So just try a bunch of different angles until it stops flowing out. It's about done. A little more. You got two drains in the basement, and that P-trap will freeze over if you don't do this. And the second one in this other room. Okay, hoses, and then we're done.
And then the last and final step when you're all done with the inside of the cabin, we open the hose bibs.
Other side as well. Two hose bibs. The third one is broken.
And then you're done.
It's kind of helpful.
This is a tip for in the winter.
Just to the right of almost one log over from where the wood is, you're about a foot away from the house. That's where you're going to be digging down to.
Yeah. And that's because in the winter sometimes those tubes are completely buried in snow. One other thing that we occasionally do, there's some plastic down in the mudroom in the basement. We put plastic in these doorways here to prevent any snow melt from coming in the spring. And then you just close the French doors back up.
Where we did it.
We've had
Sorry.
water damage before. Important note with closing the French doors, if you're up here and you open both sides of the French doors, when you close them, you need to lock it by going upwards on it. If not, then it's just free and open, and even when you close both doors, it can still come open. Like so. So the wind can blow that open. So make sure you pull up. You shut the door and pull up to lock the French door. Other note, this is the basement bedroom. Close out to where the water goes on. These are also open and shut off valves for the cabin. So sometimes we will, in the fall and spring, we may shut off water here, and instead of shutting it off outside, right outside the wall here, when the risk of freezing the whole cabin's not necessary, those are also shut off valves that may be closed. Last but not least, before you leave, we need to turn the water heater down to low. And we just turn it to that on function. So it's on, but it's not heavily heating.